Hello, Craig here. I'm going to try and explain what I just wrote above. I couldn't really find an example with the F/C chord, so I'll use the ones that I wrote about, which are in the Kinks song "Sunny Afternoon." So the sequence, and it's also a bit easier to explain how it all works with that particular song. So an A chord. Then the next chord is an A/G, an A/F, and then an A/E. And as I said, sorry, I'm just moving. I'm reading from my other previous notes. So the slash chords indicate there's a melody happening. So if I look at that A/G, A/F, and A/E, you're actually getting the notes A. I'm just looking behind the slash now to hear that melody, what the bass is doing. A, G, F, E. It's got a definite little descending melody, and that's why they've thought it's important. And all that's happening is that melody is being played over an A chord. If you were singing it, or if there was a bass or another instrument playing, that's what you'd hear. And so it's perfectly fine to just play the A chord. Notice I'm using different fingers just because of what's coming next. But that's, yeah, I'm playing an A chord. So if you saw that sequence in the music, there's no reason why you couldn't just strum the A all the way through. And then someone else would be going with the bass notes that are after the slash. But it is possible to do both at once, and that's what I'm explaining. This is why I've changed my fingering to play an A chord with these two fingers. It gives me a chance to use my pinky on the G, and then my index finger I'm reaching under to play the F, and then letting go, and you hear the E note. Even though the E note's already in a normal A chord, you're not actually doing anything different. That's why an A/E on a ukulele, it sounds exactly the same as an A chord, but it becomes significant when you add it in that sequence. So that's when it becomes quite nice to nut out what the melody's doing with the chords. The other example, which is part of the same song, I'm just looking up, where did I write it? The D minor. And then, so there's a D minor chord, D minor/C, D minor/B, D minor/B flat. And the way I'm playing it, there's two different ways to play it. To explain it, I'm playing you're basically getting C. It's a D minor first, but I'm playing a high D. Then a D minor slash with a C, then a B, and then a B flat. And when you put them all together, it's a bit cramped in this shape. There's your D minor shape. Oops. So I'm playing that. There's your slash notes, but you could just as easily, if you saw that in the music, you could just go D minor. And when you put them together, you get. And then you'd go to the A. And all those slash chords. I actually play my D minor up here. There's a different bar chord, so I'm doing an inversion. There's a D minor, and I find it easier to get I use a couple of different strings. Oops, hang on. Not watching what I'm doing. And then you hear the song. It's actually 4 different chords. There's D minor, D minor/C, D minor/B, D minor/B flat, A, A/G, A/F, and A/E. Sounds really complicated, and it is a little bit, but the result is you get these 8 different sounding chords. But really, all you could be doing is playing your D minor. Bum, 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 and your A. And you wouldn't be wrong. So if you ever see that sequence in the music, you know you're going to be fine if you just play the chords in front. But it is a bit bland. It doesn't sound like the song without the bass melody. Whereas when you add... Oh. The taxman's taken all my dough and left me in my stately home. And then here's the A sequence. Rising on a sunny afternoon. So I'm playing all those little slash chords. But you could easily just sing "Blazing on a sunny afternoon" and stay playing your A chord. So I hope that now makes a lot more sense how slash chords work. If you're ever stuck, you just play the chords and it's going to work fine with your melody. If someone else can play the melody, like the bass riff. On a ukulele, of course, you don't really get a bass riff. But if you listen, if you work out what those notes are telling you to do, you can sometimes find the melody, and it's actually really nice to play as a treble or a soprano kind of riff. Blazing on a sunny afternoon. There you go. I know I've complicated my my answer quite a lot, but hopefully reading what I wrote above and those chords demonstration there, it'll make sense how to figure out what to do with slash chords. Alrighty, cheers.